This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
NCD public transport operators to be placed in database. Prime Minister James Marape commits 5 million kina for UPNG e-library. And unemployed uni graduates to be engaged in SME. A very good evening. You're watching National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Chief Inspector Silva Sika has revealed today in a meeting with PMV operators and taxi drivers that they will be placed in a database and will be issued uniforms to wear when operating in the city. This is for police and other relevant authorities, including Road Traffic Authority, to monitor the operations and conduct of public motor vehicle buses and taxi drivers in the city.
The city's police boss says the attitude and conduct of majority of public transport drivers when on the road has been concerning lately. At the meet this afternoon, Metsub Sika told everyone who gathered at the Unagi Oval that moving forward, police will create a database for all PMV buses in the nation's capital.
I give directives, PMV drivers taxi aren't good. We are going to create a database for you. If you are arrested for any particular case, you will enter the database and we'll monitor you from there. We want to know who are these people who have become too stubborn. Law. That is for one reason only. Reason only is for safety. Safety of everybody inside the city. I'm going to set up a database, and it's going to be done at the traffic office. We're going to monitor every PMV taxi. And we will also monitor everyone who's also in this space, the space vehicles using the roads.
Sika explained that this will help police to closely monitor those buses that disobey road traffic rules. Chief Inspector Silva Sika also mentioned that police are looking at issuing uniforms to bus drivers and their crews and taxi drivers to be neat and decent when carrying out their operations in the city.
We will discuss minutes to have all of the drivers, the PMV crews and drivers to be uniformed. You mean by sentencing person? We can't be the same people. We are going to reach 50 years of independence. Have we changed Papua New Guinea?
The meeting today was well attended by PMV and taxi owners, all police station commanders within the vicinity of the city, Road Traffic Authority CEO Nelson Terama, and City Manager Rawu Frank. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
The president of Mount Bosavi local level government in the Nipa Kutubu district of Southern Highlands province has expressed his heartfelt apologies to the family members and relatives of archaeologist Bryce Baka and his team members kidnapped on the 12th of February 2023 in Fogomayu village in Mount Bosavi. President Duffy Mayo has labeled the kidnap as regrettable.
President Duffy Mayo claims that he was not informed of the team's travel to Bosavi, however, has strongly appealed to his people to release the hostages immediately.
I strongly appeal to my people of Mount Bosavi to immediately release the hostages without demands. Among the research scientists team, former local guides were also kidnapped, and I want them to be released as well.
President Mayo says this is now a national issue of concern and has further appealed to the national government, the Southern Highlands and Hela provincial governments respectively, including Nipa Kutubu District LLG, to work together to address this matter in a holistic government approach. Mount Bosavi is situated in a remote part of the country, bordering different provinces, hence the people there see very little government services.
I now appeal to Southern's provincial government, Hela provincial government, to build road for Bosavi people and as the priest, police force.
President Mayo says a current need for the people there is road connection. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, the 3 hostages that have been held in Bosavi in Hela province have been released. This was announced by Prime Minister James Marape in a press conference this afternoon at the APEC terminal in Port Moresby.
Captive. Today I just want to announce the safe return of Professor Bryce Baker and our other his 2 assistants who were with him, Semina Arrow and this team. Of course, there was an earlier release of the other company and an assistant. I just want to appreciate all hands who went behind the scene as well as on the ground to ensure this successful release of the 4 hostages happened. The police commissioner will give a full brief to our country that it was successful thanks to well-coordinated police, military operation as well as leadership at different levels. I want to commend first and foremost, the vigilant as well as Australia missions here and people, as well as relatives of especially Professor Rice, who, this incident we never anticipated to happen. However, it happened. It was a random opportunist crime that took place, but something that I condemned in the very strongest term possible.
In a recent visit to the University of Papua New Guinea, Prime Minister James Marape has committed a total of 5 million kina to have an e-library set up for the university.
University of Papua New Guinea's library was named after the founding father of this nation, late Grand Chief Sir Michael Tumasumare. Prime Minister James Marape says to commemorate the late Grand Chief's 2nd anniversary, a total of 5 million kina will be given to the school to have an e-library.
The Michael Tumasumare Library here, commemorating this moment. I know we said up there that we will do the brick statue. But for the library, our government commits 5 million kina for e-library. Let's do our e-library here.
Prime Minister asked for a clear plan from the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Frank Griffin, on how to go about with the e-library.
People can go into e-library. The next time you see me here, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I will bring the money, but I want a clear visual plan for e-library, expand this library or put internet facilities here. People can have, students can have the laptop and they can access library here on a free Wi-Fi access. There is something that I'm leaving for you so that we get our students here. And my request for you is to build up into their courses a course that make them know about business also. They can be doing science, but they must know business. They do law, but they must know business. They do politics, but they must know business. So when they come out from school, if they're not employed somewhere, I want them to be entrepreneurs in our country. That will complement my TechBack PhD drive in this week as well.
This will help the students to have easy access to internet to support their education. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Prime Minister James Marape has requested the Student Representative Council of the University of Papua New Guinea to put up an office to work in partnership with National Volunteer Service to mobilize former unemployed university graduates into productive engagements. He made this statement at the University of Papua New Guinea when commemorating the passing of the late Grand Chief.
As the number of unemployed youths increases in this country, Prime Minister James Marape is concerned about university graduates who are roaming the streets looking for jobs. He says the government will establish partnership with university if an office is allocated to Student Representative Council to register not only former UPNG students, but all the former students of other universities in the country as well.
We want to mobilize former students who are not employed and doing nothing. We want to mobilize them back into productive engagements. And I speak in the presence of Paul Awara, who's sitting here. A national youth service will be established to mobilize students who come out of universities with degree but do not find any work. We want to mobilize you back into doing productive engagement in society, hopefully linking you to an SME that you can do back home or anywhere else in this country you so choose to do.
Prime Minister was also requesting the university to put in place a program offering a compulsory business course for all students under the 5 schools at UPNG. He said every student coming out of UPNG must have a basic knowledge about engaging in business.
The government is promoting Papua New Guineans to go into the space of business. Whether it's rural business or urban business, doesn't matter. Every student coming out of UPNG must have a skill or basic knowledge about what it is or what it will take to get engaged in business and SME.
Estagane, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. A total of 370 students who will be attending the University of Goroka this year have left for school last week with a guarantee letter from the Morobe Provincial Government. The Morobe Provincial Government confirmed that the screening process to identify eligible candidates to be awarded the Gassen Solulu Scholarship commenced last Monday and is expected to close tomorrow.
The Morobe Provincial Government explained that since registration week is drawing to a close, students were given a guarantee letter to advise their respective institutions that after the screening process is complete, the fees of the awardees will be paid. The provincial government also confirmed that it will be a 100% payment. The Morobe Tutumang has appropriated 20 million kina for this scholarship this year. The guarantee letter is an open letter. The MPG confirms that there are 360 applicants from University of Papua New Guinea, 550 applications from PNG University of Technology, 311 applications from Divinewood University, 203 from University of Natural Resources and Environment, 142 from Pacific Adventist University, 65 from Institute of Business Studies, and 32 applications from Western Pacific University. A confirmed list of awardees for the 2023 Gassen Solulu Scholarship will be released tomorrow. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
United Nations Population Fund's representative Mariela Senda is calling again to improve women's health services in the country. This was in response to new estimates showing that global progress towards reducing maternal mortality has stagnated in the past 5 years.
According to latest reports by the United Nations, in 2 minutes, at least a woman dies from childbirth or pregnancy throughout the world. Sanders says UNFPA has ambitious goals that they do not aim to reduce preventable maternal deaths, but to eliminate completely. She further says we must invest in women's sexual and reproduction health, including strengthening the supply chain of essential maternal health medicines. PNG needs a minimum of 5,000 qualified midwives to change statistics on maternal mortality. Today, there are less than 800 midwives in the country that are dealing with the million woman population we have in the country. UNFPA is working with the National Department of Health with support from Australian government to provide inventory management training, emergency obstetric, newborn care training and safe delivery equipment for healthcare workers across PNG. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
2 years have passed since late Grand Chief Sir Michael Thomas Somare's passing on the 26th of February 2021. It remains a monumental loss for Papua New Guinea, as a tribute to the founding father of the country. National Capital District Commission, with due respect, has hosted the second year running vigil to remember late Grand Chief's legacy.
On the 24th of February 2023, city residents walked for Sana from Ella Beach to Sir Hubert Murray Stadium, followed by an official program to give salutation, respect and honor to our founding father, late Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare. NCD Governor Powers Pakop, in his welcoming speech, said every journey of a nation starts with dreams and visions of great visionary leaders whose passion, conviction and dedication defines and shapes the destiny of their people and nation. He says as we commemorate the second anniversary of late Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare's passing, let us never forget that dream and vision. Let's keep his memory and dream alive in the collective memory of our nation and our people. Let's continue to live it and make it real.
And I know that I had a lot of support from young Papua New Guineans. I thought, well, I think we should be able to make it.
Sinasina Yongamul Open Member Kerengakua, in his keynote speech, said it is appropriate to thank the leadership of our Prime Minister, James Marape, for appointing the 24th of February as the National Remembrance Holiday to remember and reflect on the life and service of the late Grand Chief. It is fitting for Papua New Guinea to do that because it is so inherent in our traditions and cultures. We respect the elders. It's important we appreciate these values. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Moving to overseas news now, and Nigeria has had its biggest presidential election since its military rule ended in 1999. Over 86 million people are currently in the press of voting.
Frustration and anger. Many Nigerians want to take part in this election but have been disappointed by the lack of organization. Gang violence and threats by militant Islamists have made voting difficult in some regions. And in this polling station on the mainland of Lagos, electoral officials never even showed up.
They will tell us that at the end of the day, unfair. There's nothing free and fair in this election. At all. Most people that have been passing through this place, they've been telling us that they were not able to vote. They are cancelling polling units all over this place.
I've stayed here since past 10, and this is past 3, and they're not here. We've not heard anything. We've tried to call them. We've tried to. I have a Twitter account. I've been trying to tag the INEC officials.
Actually, it's a sin for you to stay at home today.
Young urbanites who want better economic opportunities have been encouraging each other to vote on social media, and it seems to be working. In Lagos, despite the lack of organization, voters told us more people showed up than in the last elections. Turnout here in Lagos, Nigeria's most populous city, tends to be quite low. In 2019, only 18% of the electorate showed up. But here in Obalende, one of the city's neighborhoods, people tell us that the turnout is unusually high. At 6 p.m., 3.5 hours after polls officially closed, some polling units were only just opening. Having a third candidate for the first time is an encouraging sign in a region where democracy feels under threat. But whoever wins will have to deal with a struggling economy, high youth unemployment, and widespread insecurity.
National EMTV News continues after the break with more stories. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. We continue with overseas stories. Australia Senator Lydia Thorpe was removed by police after she laid on the road of the parade.
Police say Senator Thorpe had to be moved on after momentarily stopping the parade around 9 p.m. Thorpe was not arrested but removed by parade organisers for breaching the terms of her participation.
New South Wales Rural Fire Service have declared a total fire ban today for a number of areas in the state.
Open fires are banned in areas including Goulburn, Queanbeyan, the Upper Lachlan and Yass Valley. The RFS says hot windy weather and a possible thunderstorm has elevated the fire risk.
The first team of Ukraine soldiers trained by Australia forces will return to Ukraine to rejoin the war efforts.
Since January, around 70 Australian soldiers, mainly from the 1st Brigade, have been in the United Kingdom as part of what's known as Operation Kudu. That's the Australian commitment to this multi-nation training program based in the south of England. And what they've been doing is essentially taking many of these Ukrainian volunteers who've travelled to the UK to learn basic combat skills, so weapon handling, trench warfare, also medical assistance that they may be required to give once they get deployed to the front line to fight the Russian invasion. So since January, roughly 70 Australians have been taking part in helping to train these now private soldiers. So they'll return to Ukraine with the rank of private, and that's following some instruction crash course essentially from the Australians and other allied nations. Now the Ukrainian soldiers, as part of their graduation, did also praise the Australian instructors.
You're watching National EMTV News. Trukai Sports is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Telecom Golf Pennant Tournament kick-started at the Royal Port Moresby Golf Club, teeing off its 2023 season. Event's major sponsor, Telecom Limited, has its team led by Captain John Cholai. A total of 10 participating teams, including the major sponsor Telecom Limited, also brought in their team Telecom with some of its best golf players as the team kicked off at the Royal Port Moresby Golf Club in the nation's capital. The tournament, having sponsored by Telecom Limited for its continued support for the last 3 years and having always supported the Royal Port Moresby Golf Club, didn't finish their race as much as it was expected, but team captain John Cholai was still happy with the outcome at the end of the day. As he explains, he said the team actually did pretty well, but there is still more room for improvement with 10 more rounds to go in the season.
Some areas of improvement. Last year we had most of our players, they're very good players, but they are financially not that able to meet their fees. So it took a while for us to get organized and bring them into the game. And by the time we already halfway into the competition. But even then, we actually we did very good, I guess, run home, and we came up second last year. So this year, definitely, we are going to take the cup. That's for sure. I wouldn't see anybody else in there.
Acting Commercial General Manager Bill Wartovo said it's great to see Telecom as a company playing its part in supporting the Telecom Golf Pennant Tournament and being the major sponsor of the event.
And we're proud to be the third year of sponsorship in as far as pennant is concerned. So look, we're happy that we also have a team that is doing well, and we support the golf for the third year now. And we are a corporate body that we want to be seen as the preferred service provider out there. So, and that's where we come in and we showcase our products through the golf pennants here.
With 10 participating teams, all teams competed well in the first event of the Telecom Golf Pennant Tournament today. CEO for Telecom Limited, Amos Tepi, congratulated the winning team and the teams that didn't do their best, encouraging them to do better in the next round.
Today is, as you know, is a golf pennant day. Telecom Limited has sponsored golf pennant for a number of years back, and we are here to continue to support that, and we will coming years as well. But we want to say thank you to all the players who made time to come today, especially those ones who won golf today. I want to congratulate each and every one of you for the game as well. Those of you who didn't make it today, I encourage you to do better next time, so they can do better than what you've done today.
Major sponsor Telecom Limited took on Ella Motors, with Ella Motors successfully finishing on top. Some of the participating teams include Trophy House, National, BSP, Aeon and others. The next round of the Telecom Golf Pennant Tournament will take place on March 19th, 2023. Following their trial match yesterday, the SPPNG Hunters coach Stanley Teppen said the trial match was a good lead-up event to the season proper games. He added that the team has identified errors they need to work and develop in the remaining weeks ahead of their 2023 season. Despite the loss in their trial match yesterday at the Santos National Football Stadium, the SPPNG Hunters tested their skills after weeks of training in a trial match against the Central Queensland Capras. Hunters coach Stanley Teppen said it was good to see the Hunters play despite the outcome. He said a lot of errors were picked up, but that is something the team has to now work on prior to their season proper in 2 weeks.
Yeah, look, they were enormous for us to have them back over the last couple of days in training, and you can just see the 8 weeks they've gained a lot of experience down there, and you could just see the difference today. So it's good to have them back, but in saying that, the other boys too, you know, they really look forward to the challenge today. Even though it's a trial game, we spoke about it, and just to get worry about ourselves, and I think we did that in those areas that we spoke about. So we'll go back and work on our areas we need to before round one.
Following the trial match witnessed a few minor injuries, but coach Stanley Teppen said the players are ready to play.
We've still got another 2 weeks before the season starts, so we had a couple of other guys out as well in injury, and although it would have been good to play a full strength today, we just rested them, and our focus is just to get everything right before round one.
The 2023 season of the Host Plus Cup will kick-start in 2 weeks. During the Telecom Golf Pennant at the Royal Port Moresby Golf Club, Vice President for the club, John Cholai, said the Royal Port Moresby Golf Club is preparing for the 2023 Pacific Games in Solomon Islands. Vice President for Royal Port Moresby Golf Club, John Cholai, said the Pacific Games to be played at the end of this year, the Royal Port Moresby Golf Club is now preparing its golfers, both male and female, for this year's games in Solomon Islands.
You know, golf is an international game, well played well all throughout the world. It's also an Olympic sport now. And so our teams are also preparing to, our young players are preparing to go and participate in the Pacific Games. And so this is all part of the preparation. Later on, of course, they will go and have some more competitions outside of the country, and just to prepare for Solomon Islands in November.
He added that while golf remains an interesting sport, he is encouraging young Papua New Guineans to participate or show interest in the code of golf. He said there are programs for those interested to take up golf or need a helping hand, can always visit the Royal Port Moresby Golf Club.
So we'd like to encourage more school children to come and take part, because with this game, like every other game, the younger you start, the better you become as time goes on. And then they develop good techniques, and then they can represent the country. And we have talents. Our talents in this country in golf is like, you wouldn't believe it. But the thing is that we're not, our people are not given the opportunity to, it's just like a lot of other sports. They're not given the opportunity to actually participate.
Meanwhile, for now, training and preparations for the athletes in the lead up to the 2023 Pacific Games will be their training. More printing corporate netball club has reclaimed its title after a close match against the post-Korea corporate netball team, 22 points to 19 at the Rita Flynn Netball Court in the Port Moresby Netball Corporate Competition 2023.
The crown champions of the Port Moresby Corporate Netball Competition, the More Printing Corporate Netball Club, have reclaimed their premiership this afternoon in the Grand Final Challenge, where they faced off with the post-Korea side. An adamant team captain of the More Printing Corporate Netball side, Louis Maliaki, expressed that she was proud of the win, although post-Korea put up a great fight.
I'm very proud of the girls. It was a very tough fight. Post-Korea definitely put up a good fight against us, but we came out the best at the end.
Captain Maliaki added that her side has won the minor premiership in the competition leading up to their big win this afternoon.
The girls from the start, we were very consistent with our win, so there's not much to say about that. Our performance was great throughout the season.
The tournament ended this afternoon with the awards and medal presentations for the premiership title holders and the runners-up awards. Lisa Puni, Chukai Sports.
The Human Capital Management Solutions Junior Tennis Open Tournament 2023 commenced competition last Friday and ended today. This weekend-long Junior Tennis Open Tournament witnessed 60 participants competing leading up to today.
The 3 days long HCMS Junior Tennis Open Tournament 2023 ended today after witnessing 60 participants compete in the 3-day tournament. While most of the participants were from POM, the tournament also featured players from Lae Morbe Province as well as the Australian High Commission, which sent a number of their children to participate in the tournament. The ages of the children ranges from 8 to 18 years of age. The tournament has under 10, under 12, under 14, under 16 and under 18 divisions. PNG Junior Tennis Initiative Coordinator Linda Paru highlighted on this today.
The tournament is really under the PNG Tennis Association, and it's attracting about 60 participants, children, ranging between the ages of under 8 to under 18.
Coordinator Paru added that as it is an open junior tennis tournament, it is expected to attract participants from the Western Pacific region, including Australia and New Zealand.
The Western Pacific event that is coming up in May, and the Western Pacific comprises of countries in the Western Pacific region, of which Solomon Islands, Fiji, Vanuatu, and PNG is a part of. And the tournament is in May, and this year it'll be in Vanuatu. And we are looking forward to our kids participating.
Paru further added that this tournament is a lead-up to the Western Pacific qualifier scheduled for May this year in Vanuatu. Out of the 60 participants, the top players will be selected out to form a national team to compete against the Western Pacific countries like Solomon Islands and Fiji. The tournament was last held in Fiji, and this year it will be held in Vanuatu. The under-12 children will compete in a team event, whilst the under-14 and the under-16 will compete individually. In 2 weeks' time, only 14 children out of the 60 participants will be selected to form the national team. Lisa Puni, Chukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. Sports in Ina Uabui village. Minister responsible for sports, Don Pollier, says to use the village at Mekeo in Central Province as a sample sports village to drive the Go Rural, Go Global sports strategy. He has called on the village leaders to bring a list of different sports played in the village together with their names to his office when confirming that this village will be used as a pilot to drive the strategy.
Sports, we support them, so we will use those modes of sports that you're doing here in this village as we will encourage you, and you'll do in your village. We will use as a pilot to drive the strategy that I delivered on the floor of Parliament called the Go Rural, Go PNG. But I'd like you to organize yourself, and my officer here, Murex come here, Murex and Alex come here. Where's Alex? That's Alex here. So Ismail and you guys can get their numbers and communicate with them so they'll link to our office, and we'll see. And we play sports here.
The Port Moresby Men's Softball Association held a 2-day corporate sevens slow pitch tournament which ended today. The tournament is a first of its kind, and the Port Moresby Men's Softball Association is optimistic of hosting such going forward.
6 teams that initially registered for the tournament competed in the regular round robins starting yesterday at the Bicini Diamonds. One team that has remained undefeated and on par on the ladder points was the NASFAN Team 1. An elated NASFAN Team 1 captain William Penias shared with MTV's Trukai Sports that he is adamant of their results all throughout the tournament.
We are very excited that we gone through all the games from yesterday, defeated 2 teams yesterday. We drew in the last game yesterday. For today, we won the first game in the morning and the second game again this afternoon.
The Port Moresby Men's Softball Association President Jenny Park emphasized that this tournament is a first of its kind event, and for the start, the game saw 6 participating teams. With the growing interest seen throughout the tournament, they are open to see more corporate houses coming on board to take part next season.
Corporate one being the corporate sevens. Tiring day for the 2 days. I think everyone enjoyed the day. Coming out and socializing with each other. We have now come now to the second day. The finals are now going to be done this afternoon. We've got the PNG Power Sparkies and NASFAN Savers in for the finals. Going tournament for the Port Moresby Men's Softball Association. We hope to grow it. We started off with 6. We hope to grow it going forward into the new season. And
the tournament ended today, which witnessed the NASFAN Team 1 taking on the PNG Power Sparkies in the Grand Final Challenge. Lisa Puni, Trukai Sports.
And moving to overseas sports now, Australia women's cricket captain Meg Lanning says her side is fully aware of the threat South Africa possess ahead of T20 women's final.
And will have the home crowd advantage as the Aussies look to win their 3rd straight T20 title. Australia has an undefeated record against South Africa across 8 previous T20 World Cup tournaments, but Lanning says that gap is closing.
Teams are coming really hard at us. There's not much margin between the best teams now, and we know that we have to play extremely well to win. And tomorrow is no different. South Africa are on a high. They're playing really well. They've got world-class players, and they're coming out here. It's a new experience for them being in the World Cup final, and sometimes that can be a good thing.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby mostly cloudy with few possible showers. Daru cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorm. Kerema and Alatau partly cloudy with few showers. Popondetta cloudy with thundery rain showers, then possible morning fog. In the Momase region, Ley cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Medang, Wewak and Banimo cloudy with some showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorm. KV cloudy with some showers. Kokopo and Rabaul partly cloudy with few showers. Kimbe cloudy with frequent showers. Buka cloudy with occasional rain showers. In the Highlands region, all centres cloudy with thundery rain showers, then scattered morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Sunday, the 26th of February 2023. From the entire news team, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.